Good afternoon, everyone. This is Rafi from Graystone Investment Group and Homes for Income. That's homes, the number 4income.com. Graystone, where you invest, we do the rest. And today we're going to review a great tool that we use to analyze our properties and decide, hey, is it a good rent, investment or not? And that software is called Zilculator. We have the link on the video below. And not only that, we have a discount code. The discount code is Graystone, and that's Graystone. And with that, you can get a 10% discount on this great software. But let's go pretty quick to what it is. Again, the link is at the bottom of the description and maybe in the screen. I don't know right now. Jorge does the editing, so maybe he has it or not. But this is a great software that will help you analyze quickly and accurately any investment properties that you're thinking of buying. First, let's go to the way we create create the deals on these properties. First, you go here to new property, and once you do that, you will find this information. Yeah, that's Stephanie coming in the back. So whatever. Now, there's a great tool right here, MLS Loader. So if you know the MLS number for the property, you can just enter it here, and it automatically enters all the information there. Now, this item is in beta right now when I'm at the time of this video, so it may not be 100%, but I tested it on the beta version and it works excellent. And again, you just enter the MLS number here and you load it, and that's about it. Now, you can also, if you already have properties that are similar to the one that you're creating, you can come here, copy existing property, and just select any of the properties that you have right here. And it basically, again, if it's similar to what you're creating right now, you can go from there and you save some time there. If not, then you come all the way down here and you start from blank. Now, there's three strategies that you can use in terms of which one you want to use. Again, either rent, fix, or if it's wholesale. In our case, most of the time it's a wholesale deal, okay? But again, if you're analyzing, you're buying a rental and you want to analyze that rental, or you're buying a flip directly and you want to analyze that flip, which way you're going to use it, that's, completely okay. Today, let's go and analyze a rental, okay? Since what we do most here at Graystone is rentals, we're going to analyze it using that way. Now, the report title, again, this is the name that will be used as the title. If empty, it will be the address. But of course, you want to have something here. In this case, I'm going to go rental 1234 address, right? And test. And then here, once you do that, you can enter. You can enter the location. The cool thing again is if you enter the location, even if you didn't enter the what you call it, the MLS, it will, as you enter, it will auto-populate the address. So look at that. So you only enter the first couple of numbers, boom. And the cool thing about that is that you will see later is that it brings up Zillow information, and we'll go over that, okay? Now, property type, again, you can select here what type of property it is. And then property summary, this is different from the description. So property summary, it's, again, just a couple of sentences. It will appear on the executive summary of the report. I'll send you that later. But in this case, we're going to talk about great cul-de-sac property, right? 422, and then with pool, right? And by the way, instead of a rental, I'm going to make it a flip. And if you notice, I changed it from flip to rental to wholesale. I can do that without a problem with having to enter it again. So you enter property summary. Again, you see that it got it from Zillow. If you had an MLS, it will also populate it here. And not only that, it tells you, it automatically brings up the year, the size, in square feet, how many bedrooms, how many beds, how many bathrooms. And not only that, it also brings out photos already from the listing. So in this case, I just select each one and it adds them to my report. Okay? So a great tool that you can use and saves you time. I don't have to be looking for photos anywhere. Everything is there. Oh, I don't like this picture, this photo. Okay, let me take it out. Let me take this one out. This one I want to use because they're not, and I'm going to use, this one, right? And of course, the main one is the one that you want first here. So that's the main one that you're going to have coming up in the reports. But again, very easy. You don't have to do much. As you enter either the address or the MLS listing, it automatically populates all this information. Now let's hit next here. Once you do that, then this is when you start entering the information. Okay. Now you have two ways of doing it. You can either calculate by profit or by maximum offer. Okay. In this case, if it's a flip, we know that, hey, we're gonna buy it for, this much, and you can put here, hey, I'm gonna buy it for $250,000. Or if you put maximum offer, then you say, what, this is the maximum allowable offer to make X amount of profit, right? You see, in this case, you say, what, I'm just going to say desired profit, and I can put that there how much money I want to make on the deal, right? This is very, very useful if you're going to, again, that the minimum for this deal that you're going to want to make is X amount of dollars. You know what, regardless, I want to make $50,000. So tell me what is my maximum offer. That way, when I go to the seller, I can say, hey, this is as much as I'm going to pay you, right? But if you say, what, I'm just going to look at the purchase price, determine how much profit it is, and then, determine if I'm buying it, great. In my case, I like to use the maximum offer because it gives me a quick way of saying, what, if I am ballpark figure close to the price that it's out there, then I'm going to, invest time in researching and doing all that kind of stuff. But if I'm way too far, then I don't even, do that much with it, okay? So I'm going to use maximum offer. I'm going to say, what, in this deal, my minimum profit I want to make is $30,000, right? I found out that after repair value is $325, right? And then closing costs. Now, again, you can use the typical between 1 to 1.5% of your purchase price, right? That's something that you can do. Something that I love about Zilculator is that you can expand costs. The more you can expand costs, the better, because you get closer to the actual number versus just using a guesstimate that everyone out there just uses that may not apply to your property. So the closer you can be to it, the better. So again, if you use the same closing company, you can ask them, hey, what's the appraisal fees? What are the attorney fees if you have one, title fees, all that kind of stuff. So you enter the information here, and you go, what, for this house, it's going to be 500, it's going to be 600 here. I need to inspect it, that's 450. The appraisal is 452. And I go, there's some other fees of $800, right? And that totals here the actual closing cost. The closer you can get to this number, the better. Now I get it. Sometimes you just have to rush it. If that's the case, then just collapse the cost and go, what? I think this is 1.5, $15, $2,000, depending on what kind of deal, and then you go from there. Okay? Now, financing. Let's say that you're not going to buy this cash. You're going to add a loan. You can do that in Zilculator. Again, and if you have more than one loan, you can add here, hey, my joint partner Stephanie, a capital partner Jorge, you can do hard money, anything here, okay? And then again, here what you're gonna do is, hey, what's the purchase price? Okay, it's either based on the ARV. We have a lot of lenders that based on the ARVs, and they say, what, based on the ARV, I'll give you, 70% or 60% or whatever it is of the property. So you may say, what, if they give me 70%, that means that my down payment based on the ARV is going to be 30%, right? So that means that for you to make this loan, assuming the loan is based on the ARV, you may need to have at least, put a down payment of $97,000. Now, again, that number can come down if the price is much lower than that, okay? So in this case, we're using it based on that. Or if that is based on the purchase price. Based on the purchase price, maybe, you find someone that gives you 80%. Okay, that means that based on the purchase price, I have to put 20% here, right? So very easy from that perspective. Loan times, if it's interest only, amortized. If it's amortized to how many years? Let's pick it, let's keep it simple here. We're gonna say 9%, 10% interest only, okay? And then profit split, if this was a capital partner, you can enter here the actual profit split that you're gonna have with them. Let's say that, hey, I'm gonna give you the money at 10%, and then we're gonna split profits, 50-50. Okay, this is where you will put that here. Okay, now if you know the loan fees, again, the more information the better. The more information the better. If you know loan fees, if you know points, enter them here. That way you get closer to that number. Again, this is Zilculator. If you are interested, just go to the link below on the video so you can get access to it, and use the discount code Graystone, GRAYSTONE, to get a 10%. Okay, so we're gonna add a loan here. We're gonna say, test loan is gonna be based on the purchase price, 20% down payment, no fees, no points, 10% interest. We add that loan, and then we move on. Next. Okay, now, very important here, repair estimator. Now, yes, you think that here you can enter a lump sum and just move on. I'm going to tell you right now, do not do it. Did you hear me? Do not enter a lump sum repair cost. Even if you get a quote from someone, enter it here and be as detailed as possible. If there's something that you leave from this, is you're saving time in the analyzing the deal. Invest time here. Okay, so again, for the purposes of this example, I'm just gonna add here and say, the exterior, we only have to do 1,000 on siding. Doors and windows is gonna be 4,000. We're gonna change all the windows. Roofing is gonna be 6,000, and then we're gonna put 1,000 on landscaping, right? So boom, we're doing that. Then you go into the interior. Hey, do you have to demo? You know what? In this case, this house, we didn't have to demo. Actually, it was so great that we didn't even have to paint. We only have to do some exterior painting, no siding. Okay, no demo, no framing, but we had to do some electrical. Okay, we had to do some plumbing, right? HVAC was great in this case. We did some doors and trims. $100 here. Flooring was the big expense on this one. Let's say $6,000. And then we had to do some painting and appliances. They were there. Okay, and again, dumpster, permit fees, anything like that, other costs. It's so much better. You see, we got the total of $20,800. But the good thing about this is that it helps you not forget. You don't know how many times we had investors come to us with a bad deal, and we go, wait, you didn't consider the demolition cost, or you didn't consider the HVAC or the roof. This helps you get it closer. Okay, so very important. I strongly suggest you do not collapse. You actually expand and enter all this information. Now, monthly holding costs, same thing. These are monthly holding costs, are the cost of keeping the property while you're repairing it and selling it. Again, a lot of things that we forget here. Insurance, this house is going to be $100 monthly for insurance. Property taxes is going to be $125 monthly. Utilities, in this case, it's a big house, $250. HOA, a lot of people forget those HOAs and they sneak up on them, and then boom, they forgot. Okay, maintenance, if you have to do landscaping, let's say mowing the yard in the meantime, that's going to be $50 a month. So again, don't collapse, expand here so you get this cost. But it's very easy to enter this information, and again, it helps you not forget. Okay, moving on, we hit next here.
Okay, I'll follow up with you.
Now here, holding period. This is very important. Rehab schedule. So you talk to the contractor that you use and tell them, hey, based on what the quote you gave me, how long it's going to take. It's going to be a 2-month process. Okay.
Sounds good.
Then listing period, okay,
Awesome.
is how much time it takes you to sell. It is not how much time it takes you to get it into contract. And that's a mistake that some people do. They say, in 2 months I'll have it under contract. Yeah, but that means that another month will be before you close. So make sure you account for that time from being on the contract to the actual sale. So let's say in this case it's going to take 3 months. Okay, and this is important because this is what's going to use to calculate against that those monthly costs to say, hey, you know what? Those monthly costs times 5 in this case, that's going to be your holding expense. Now resale, we already said 325. Okay, that's how we use in the previous area. And then commissions, if you're going to pay a realtor commission, that's where you put it here. And then selling costs. Guess what? Man, big mistake. I've seen this. Oh, but I'm selling net seller. You still have selling costs. Listen to me. You still have selling costs. I don't care what you net seller, whatever. You will always have selling costs. Let's expand on those as well. So go back to your contract. For example, marketing, staging. If you're selling a $350,000 house, you have to stage it. And guess what? We said it's gonna be staged for the first 2 months. That means that, let's say that is $1,500 the first month and $500 the second month. Well, guess what? In marketing, you just have $2,000 that if you don't expand, you didn't know. And then when you're calculating should I buy or not, and you're off by $2,000, guess what? That's coming from your pocket. So let's make sure that we expand and we put this information there. And again, if you have title fees, there's always like some sort of fees. Ask your title company, hey, should I add something here? Okay, I'm gonna leave it on staging only, but again, very important that you expand those costs. That's it. We enter all the information. Now it's time to analyze. And don't forget, the link to this report, to the Zilculator, it's at the description of the video, and we have a great discount code Graystone, Graystone. I'll give you a 10% discount on this great software that we use to analyze our properties. Now we hit analyze. Takes a while, but here it is. I'm going to give you a couple. I'm going to close here. So here you have the executive summary. Okay, you have, like I said, you have the pictures of the properties right here, so you can see them. Great professional pictures from your staging company. You put them there. If they're already in the MLS or in Zillow, it will capture them from there. And remember that I told you, hey, I wanted to make at least $30,000. It's right here. So say, you know what? I want to make at least $30,000. Assuming an ARV of $325,000 and a rehab of $20,000, the maximum allowable offer for this property is $238,942. That's the maximum allowable offer based on the parameters that I gave them. Now, is that what I'm going to offer? Heck no. That's my maximum. I'm going to start my negotiation maybe at 220, 210, right? Because anything below this number, I'm good. Anything below this number, that means that I'm making my 30,000. Okay? So that means, again, that is the maximum, not your minimum. And if you look at here, it's a great summary of your investment. So you have your after repair value, your profit. This number is good. 70% rule. This is a ratio that a lot of rehabbers use to determine quickly if they should purchase property. Okay? In this case, what this basically is, hey, the price of the repairs and the purchase price should not exceed 70% of ARV. Now, that's a great number. Caveat. On a hot market, it's going to be very hard to hit that number 70%. Okay, so you need to understand how much more you're willing to take. Of course, if it's 70%, I would say run for the fences and get it. Right? If you can make your target profit and have it under 70%, you're probably not going to be the only one knocking on that door. If you have it, go for it. But that's what it is. Now, return investment. Look at that, 40% return investment, and that's especially because your investment is low because of that loan. Okay, project term is 5 months. Total capital needed 273, but we're financing 200. So total cash needed. Okay, that's basically how much, if you are buying and rehabbing this house, how much you have to pay. I mean, out of your pocket, it is $73,500. Okay. Now here, again, purchase cost is $241, which is the purchase price that we're going to say that's the maximum allowable price plus the buying cost. We said it's $241. Okay. Now repairs, we said it was $20,800. Holding costs. Again, we said monthly holding costs. You can click here. It tells you exactly what it is. Each holding cost, utilities, insurance, maintenance, property taxes. Okay. Now, also we have here the loan interest, 1,600. And of course, that means, look at that, $11,000 in holding costs. Can you imagine if you didn't calculate that and then suddenly you go, you know what? I thought I made 25,000. Well, less those 11,000, you actually made 14. Okay, you didn't hit your targets. Very important that those holding costs are as close as possible to the actual number. And then here, okay, we have selling costs and everything. So with this, you should be able to make a pretty quick decision, should I buy or not. Let's stay here. And just to give you a perspective, you can use this. It has all the information here, the proper description. You can add comps if you want. If it's Zillow, it may add comps by itself. You can add other, rehab estimates by scope of work. So you can use that and say, okay, that's what I have to do by scope of work. It gives you all that information. You have a bunch of financial analysis down here in terms of, cash doing the flip, the analyzed ROI, et cetera, et cetera. So you can do, this is a great report. For example, if you're looking for funding, you can print this and show them this. Man, you're going to look so professional. Whew. You're going to look so professional from that perspective. And look at that. Even the resale analysis, sales proceeds breakdown. It's not like you're winging it, guys. And of course the photos are down here. So many times, people go to lenders with, I think I can, I sort of. With Zilculator, you're gonna give them the first and foremost, a great presentation. And not only that, the numbers. If you present something like this, man, the numbers are gonna be so much better. They're gonna believe you. They're gonna go, you know what? This guy really spent the time and money and sweat equity to analyze this property. I'm gonna give him a chance to do that. Same for your sellers. If you show something like this, they're gonna go, great. Now, last piece, because it's been 22 minutes, and I was trying to hit 20 minutes, but 22 minutes is, based on these numbers, should you buy your... You see? This is what happens when you... This is what happens when you are on your laptop. Boom. Now, should I buy it? Well, guess what? No, if you ask me, definitely not for 238. Okay? Because 238, look at the 70% is 79%. So it's a little bit higher for my taste, just to make 30,000 on this deal. You basically 325,000 the ARV. So 30,000 is a little bit low in terms of the profit that you should make. I would not probably, again, using this as a test, I would probably not buy, pay more than 220,000 on this, just to have some, coverage in terms of how much I will make. And also, that you always should add at least 10, 15% to those repair costs for unknowns. So if you look at this deal, I would probably not do more than 220, really, so that I can get maybe closer to 40,000 here, and then the other 8,000 I can kind of hedge my my repair costs in case this goes up a little bit. So that's what I would do. Well, guys, that's Zilculator. That's the software tool that we at Graystone use to analyze most of our properties. It's a great software, very, very easy to do. If you're interested in learning more about it, send us a request. You use the link below and use the discount code Graystone, Graystone. Hopefully Jorge is putting it on the screen, and get a 10% discount on it. Thank you very much for your time. It's been 34 minutes, but I thought I needed to make sure that you guys understood every little cranny of Zilculator. I can go on and on. This is a great software. Again, Zilculator, go to our link below, discount code Graystone, Graystone, to get a 10% discount. Thank you very much for your time here with Graystone and Homes for Income. That's Homes, the number 4 income. And remember, with Graystone, you invest, we do the rest. Thank you very much and have a great afternoon.